German music in St. Louis is rooted in the rich cultural heritage brought over by German immigrants in the early 19th century to Missouri. Traditions such as beer gardens, polka bands, and kindergartens are just a few categories to mention. Out of the many unique aspects of the customs practiced by native Germans, this video will focus mainly on German immigration into St. Louis, typical instruments used for music, St. Louis specific bands that celebrate their cultural heritage, dancing at the St. Louis Rosenball, and a couple of places to eat while listening to German music here in your own city.
German immigration into St. Louis began in the 1820s. A man named Gottfried Duden came to Missouri in 1824 and stayed until 1827. Upon returning to Germany, he wrote a book on his experiences in Missouri. This book, along with others of the period, as well as letters from the early German arrivals, promoted German immigration into our city. From the mid-1830s to the end of World Wars, influx of Germans in St. Louis increased drastically. The first German church was founded in 1834 by German evangelical Protestants.
And they were fighting for freedom in Germany. They couldn't get it done, so they left the Germany. They were going to go where they could be free. It's exciting to me. They were just excited about freedom as our early Americans were against England.
The Dutch Meister Brass Band provides musical entertainment and German atmosphere for a wide variety of audiences. Since its founding in 1963, the band has performed at various functions around St. Louis and across the U.S. The band is part of the German Cultural Society of St. Louis. The band is structured after the European military bands of the late 1800s and performs a wide variety of music. Its library contains marches, polkas, waltzes, and tangos, and over 300 compositions ranging in styles from classical to military and American to German brass band. In 1975, a long-held dream for the band came true. The Dutch Meister completed its first recording filled with marches and polkas. The band's early character showed through. The second recording in St. Louis featured vocals and those sections most requested in the infamous St. Louis Street Festival.
The accordions were invented in the early 19th century by a German named Christian Buchmann. He introduced and patented an instrument called the Handeline in 1822. It had an expandable bellows and a portable keyboard and a series of free vibrating reeds inside. 7 years later, Cyrillus Damian refined the instrument by adding 4 bass keys that produced chords. He was awarded a patent for his instrument, which he called an accordion. Today, an accordion is typically thought of as a portable wind instrument consisting of 2 reed organs connected by a folding bellows. They expand and contract the bellows to provide air to vibrate the reed organs, producing the sound. It is also known as a squeeze box because of this expanding and contracting of the bellows. There is a keyboard on the right side for playing melody notes and buttons on the left to sound bass notes and full chords.
Another tradition which has been brought over to St. Louis through German immigration is the Rosenball dance. It is a celebration of German traditions and cultural heritage, and it takes place in St. Louis annually. It is promoted and sponsored by the German Cultural Society of St. Louis, and usually, as you can see in the video, it's everybody dresses up, men wear suits, ladies wear colorful fancy dresses, and it's basically a fun night out. Usually here in St. Louis, there's a live band preceding the performance by the dance team, and so you have live music, you have good food, drinks, and then you have the performance by the dance team. So it's basically a fun night out celebrating German traditions and heritage dating back to several hundred years. And if you're interested, you guys should check it out next year in early spring.
St. Louis has many German restaurants. One German restaurant is Al Smith's Feasting Fox Restaurant and Pub, located on South Grand Boulevard. This restaurant was built in 1914, and this building incorporates German-style architecture, with its pitched roof and corner turret. Some of the most popular dishes on the menu are the Wiener Schnitzel and German chocolate cake and strudel. Another great place to go is Urban Chestnut on Manchester Avenue. They have a wide selection of German-inspired beers and variety of German meats, such as sausage. Urban Chestnut also hosts a variety of German events throughout the year. One example of this is when Urban Chestnut hosts Oktoberfest.